Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank one of my longtime subscribers, Felicia Barr, for this story. So, there are reports coming out of Washington state, and the police are saying that drivers aren't stopping for them anymore. Well, maybe it has a lot to do with people ending up dead during traffic stops in America. Maybe that might have something to do with it. Or they just don't trust your police, and your FBI has already acknowledged that there are many white supremacists on these police forces, and maybe people just don't want to deal with them. So, the Washington State Patrol says drivers are increasingly refusing to stop for troopers. And other law enforcement agencies also say this is becoming a common occurrence. Maybe you're killing too many people during traffic stops. Yeah. And maybe it is a known fact that white supremacists are on your police forces at every level, state, local, it doesn't matter, federal, it doesn't matter what level they are there. So, the Northwest News Network reports from January 1st to May 17th of this year, the agency has logged 934 failures to yield incidents. While the patrol didn't track this in the past, veteran troopers say there has been a dramatic uptick in drivers fleeing traffic stops. Maybe it has a lot to do with how you do traffic stops in America, which are not good. Uh huh. Something's changed. People are not stopping right now. This is Sergeant Darren Wright, WSP spokesperson with 31 years on the job. It's happening 3 to 5 times a shift on some nights, and then a couple of times a week, and this is during the day shift. So it's happening no matter what shift is going on. Local police departments are seeing this behavior. Uh huh. So they're saying the local police are saying they had 148 incidences of drivers that are not stopping from July 26, 2021 to May 18th, 2022. So there is a significant increase, according to Chief Scott Engel, who wrote an email. It could be possibly 1 million%. Say this is completely, absolutely, um, totally unusual. Well, why is it unusual? Why? Why? But see, they're going to overlook the way they police and put it on the people. That's what they will do because, this is the land of no accountability. That's what America is. In Lakewood, another small city in Pierce County, the chief, Mike Zorro, said drivers are refusing to stop for his officers on an average of once a day. A lot of times they're stolen cars. Yeah, maybe in some cases, I don't believe all these incidents are stolen cars. Maybe some of them are, but I don't believe it's all of them. No. Sometimes we don't know what the detail is, Zorro said. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, so the law enforcement and sheriffs are both saying that they do notice an increase in failures to yield to passage last year when House Bill 1054, sweeping police tactic law, that, among other things, barred high speed pursuits except for very limited circumstances. The law was part of a package of police reforms, majority Democrat passed in a response to the murder by police of George Floyd. and other high profile killings and reforms aimed at addressing racial disparities in policing, which is never going to go away. They're going to make sure that never goes away. Racial profiling will never go away. These folks don't want this stuff to go away. That's why, no matter how much they talk about reforms, these things just continue to persist because they don't want it to go away. Now, they'll get on the can and claim they do, but at the end of the day, they don't do nothing to change it. Okay. So, under the new law, police officers can't give chase unless there's reasonable suspicion to believe that the driver is impaired, or the higher standard of probable cause to believe that they're an escaped felon or have committed a violent crime or sex crime. Even then, there are restrictions on when officers can pursue. Officers must balance whether a person pose an imminent threat, which they claim that we do, even unarmed, and whether the safety risk of the person getting away outweigh the danger of the engaging in the high speed chase. So, both year in Washington, both this year and the past year, the Washington House and Senate passed a bill with bipartisan votes that would have amended the new pursuit law in response to concerns from police that it was too restrictive. But a final version of the measure died in the state Senate. Advocates for police reform opposed the change. Why is it that we are so concerned about hot pursuits? Said Martina Morris with the group's Next Step, Washington, at a February rally at the Capitol, because they're dangerous. There are a number of cases, that cause deaths. Now, I had a friend of mine that I grew up with in the hood. This happened to her. She and her fiance got out of church and they were driving home, and the cops were in pursuit of a person at that moment. And they ended up hitting the person that was trying to escape from the cop head on. He crossed over into their lane and hit them head on. Her fiance was killed. She survived, but she was, oh man, she had so many broken bones. I mean, she was in bad shape, but she ended up making it and everything. But she almost lost her life that day because the cops were pursuing a guy, and there were a lot of people out and about on the road. And see, when those pursuits were happening, cops don't know when to back off. They really don't. When he turned down a city street, you should have backed off at that moment because there's just too many people out and about. It should not have continued, but they continued it and killed someone. Okay. Prime sponsor of Bill 1050, 54, Democratic State Rep Jesse Johnson, also opposed to lowering the threshold for pursuits. I do not believe pursuits in the 21st century policing systems are needed, Johnson said in a March interview on TVW's Inside Olympia program. So, y'all, ain't that something? So, in Washington State, a lot of people are looking at them cops and they just hightailing it on. They're not even trying to pull over, and it doesn't help that your cops are so unfavorable these days. And in the recent shootings that have happened, it just don't put them in a good light. But then again, I don't think they ever tried to be in a good light. But now that so many people are shunning them for the way they police in America, now, of course, not the person they shot. That's not the victim. They're the victim, y'all. They're the victim. And it's so unfair. It's just so unfair and so not right. especially letting a mass shooter just walk on out of a grocery store with not a scratch and arrest him, but a pregnant black woman with her hands up in the air and complying, you shoot her 5 times. But way to go. That's the way policing should be in America. Pieces of shit. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. And no, I don't feel bad that nobody is stopping for these cops. Serves their butt right. Peace, family.